I've waited so long. Waited a whole week.
A week long. Hey, it's the Mead Metal and MMA podcast. We come together to talk about some of our favorite shit on the planet Earth. Obviously, those three topics notwithstanding. And I would like to say, holy shit, how are you this week?
Happy Christmas, man.
Yeah, it's the Friday right before December 2-2, as we are one episode away from wrapping up 2017.
Gonna close it out big.
Yeah, coming up this week, I would recommend, just blow us off because this episode's going to suck. But
we're gonna just mail this one in.
Mailing it in. It's almost like Wayne McKnight was handling this.
Yeah.
Newman. But nonetheless, but next week is going to be huge. Next week we have Samuel back as a guest because it's right before UFC 219, which is going to be potentially about the second or third best card of the year. Maybe it has the potential to be. Obviously the fights have got to happen.
Yeah, we got to let him know he's got to do his. We need those top three lists.
The top three lists are going to be huge. Top three Meads for the year, top three metal albums for the year, metal albums for the year, and the top three, obviously, fight cards of the year, I think.
Yeah.
Would probably be apropos.
I think so. And, there might be a weird one in there in between.
Top three videos of Pornhub that we've seen this year.
Oh, I got that one covered.
So, as we start off, first of all, would you like another beer, my good man?
Yeah, I might as well. I mean, this is day one of your vacation, isn't it?
Well, that's kind of the nice thing about it. I walked out of work today, went straight from work, decided to go ahead and descend into hell. Went to Walmart and picked up some stuff, but I am officially done Christmas shopping, officially done wrapping. I'm all done.
Dude,
I am done until January 2nd.
Fucking A.
So, we get to, there was a little bit of foreshadowing for those that follow us over on Facebook during the week. A little matter of a little part where we kind of kill a little bit of time in the beginning of the podcast where we say, so, how was your week?
Oh, man. Okay, so yeah. Kevin already kind of knows the tale. I told him last night. So what happens is weird people come to my hotel all the time. I guess it's just become a thing now.
Well, I will say this. I don't know. I don't want to blame your hotel because I'm not going to say the name, but it's not the top notch. It's better than like two other ones in town.
Yeah, and compared to others in its chain is top notch.
But a lot of people don't view it as a top notch chain. They view it as kind of an intermediate. It's like, well, I'm not staying at a fucking Motel 6.
Yeah. There are people paying $100 to stay at our place.
That's what blows my mind a little bit. So I think that I think there's a preponderance of people out there going, I don't want to stay in a really shitty hotel, but I don't really probably have the cash for like a fucking like Holiday Inn Express. I'm going to stay at that hotel.
That's right. You go stay at the old Hulk Hogan hotel.
But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bust in on that. I'm just making assumptions about shit I know nothing about.
Aspersions on my place of work. So yeah, every week it seems like there's a weirdo. Be it the meth MMA guy, the guy that.
Oh, is he back?
Oh no,
okay.
I don't think so, but I'm sure he will be back. They always come back. Or the guy that ended up pissing in our trash can because we kicked him out. But this one...
We kicked somebody out of the VFW for the very same thing.
Well, I mean, piss. You got to draw the line somewhere, and it's piss.
That is a trash can, sir.
So, this one, though, is probably... If I had a top three weirdness at my place of business, it would be as follows. The guy that pissed in the trash can, the meth MMA fighter... And this woman.
Ooh, this is number one on your list?
This is number one.
Oh, my God.
So 3:30 rolls around. I've just finished my menial tasks, and I'm in the back enjoying a little YouTube, burning a little time before I have to get breakfast set up. And I hear a, hello, coming from the lobby. And I have security cameras right there. So I look, and it's this little Asian-looking woman. And also, a huge pet peeve of mine.
Like good Asian? Like
turned out to be Costa Rican.
I was going to say, or was it bad Asian, like the chick that's married to John Lennon?
So one of my biggest pet peeves in my job is if I'm not at the desk, there's a button there, a big red and yellow sign that says with a button. It says press for
Looks like
assistance.
some shit you like set off nukes with.
Yeah, it's the button to summon the atomic bomb that is me. But she didn't press it, so I'm like, no, fuck that. I'm waiting right here until she hits that button.
You'll wait it out.
It's one of my pet peeves. I'll do it every fucking time. You gotta be paying attention. So after about a minute, she finally sees it and presses it. And I go out there. I'm like, "Can I do for you, ma'am? Can you just talk to me?"
Oh,
And I'm looking at this girl in the eyes, and her eyes are, fucking out and on me. Like I'm looking at you right now.
banjo eyes.
Yeah, like you would think she was on crank from the gods.
Like you would expect her to be in Young Frankenstein as the sidekick.
There you go.
Barney
Yeah,
Feldman.
Exactly. And she's fucking just looking right at me. But I know it's like her pupils are fine, but she's just fucking locked in on me.
Oh, wow. That's
So-
a little unnerving.
Yeah. So I'm like, nah, I really can't right now. I'm a little busy doing my job, which I wasn't doing shit, but I'm not about to.
I am busy watching
I'm
stuff
not about
on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm not about to entertain conversations with a strange woman at 3:30 in the morning.
Now, is she an old lady or?
27.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, it gets better. And this might bleed a little long, but it's worth it. So I say, hey, come back in an hour. I might have like 5 minutes to spare because I don't want to be an asshole because it's my job to be as good a person as I can be
You
to
are in
these
the
people.
service industry.
That's
yes.
right. Hospitality, my good man.
Oh, there you go.
So she's like, okay, great. She fucks off upstairs. I'm thinking, great. She's going to go up there and go to sleep. I'm going to be out of here before she even thinks to return. And, but no, fucking hour later, right on the button.
Oh,
Here
so
she
she
comes.
actually took you at your word.
Yes, she did.
Set an alarm.
It turns out this girl has insomnia.
Okay.
That's number one. So I'm like,
a lot
fine.
of people have insomnia.
I guess I'm locked in to go out and have a smoke with this girl, which is fine. It's like she's not wearing a coat. She's wearing like sweater and yoga pants. So not really any ideal for cold temperatures. So we're out there having service. She's freezing her ass off. I got my fucking leather jacket on. I'm good to go. And she opens with, so I was abducted by aliens at age 4.
That's the opening statement to you.
If you want
the lead comment that is right there to hook
if you
in.
want to get me chubbing, that's what you open with. 'Cause I'm like, oh, now I know we can share everything. I'm like, oh, really? Wow, that's certainly something. And then she says, oh, by the way, don't be freaked out. I really like to make eye contact with people. I'm like, all right, fine.
Okay, weirdo.
I can do that too. I'm fucking keeping my eyes on you, believe me.
I avert my eyes to weird people.
So the conversation devolves into this, and I'll give the Cliff Notes version here.
Sure.
She believes in God and Jesus. You know, that's not really weird at first.
When she's abducted or after she gets back?
This was actually, and she was asked to be abducted by aliens, by the way. She was a willing traveler.
Wow.
But not only does she believe, she has sat at a table and has broken bread with God and Jesus.
Both of them.
And they've tasked her to come down here and bring the light of the Lord into our lives.
Did you ask her if the song "Jesus Is Just All Right," if that one actually sits well with them? Because
I'm pretty sure she probably had "What If God Is One of Us" on repeat on her fucking phone. Joan Osborne.
Wow. Well, UFOs and Christianity.
Yeah,
Okay.
like science and religion are one.
But they're not. They're
They're
generally
not.
at opposite ends.
Yes, drastically. And she's like, oh, no, it's just all about quantum physics and the fourth dimension because that's where God lives and that's where the aliens are. And we can't see the fourth dimension because we're all just inherently a bad people. Oh, and her husband raped her.
With quantum physics?
Or something pulled from the fourth dimension.
And she's, yeah, most of the people you've introduced to us on the show from your hotel are like usually awaiting court.
Yeah. Or are just on that fucking speed track to Death Town, man. I thought it was going to be stabbed, but it gets better.
Good God.
It gets better.
Okay.
And I left this part out, aliens, and she also said she had Asperger's. That was like the third thing she said.
Is that the one where you cuss a lot?
I guess, or that Tourette's.
That is Tourette's, yeah. Asperger's. What is that?
I don't know. I was too afraid to look it up because I was already in fear of my
Whoa,
life.
whoa.
Like,
Hold on,
I'm
lady.
gonna look at my phone real quick. I forgot what Asperger's is. Pretend
I think isn't that like a mild form of like autism or something?
Yeah. Well, that'd actually be a great way to describe it from what I witnessed.
Okay.
And she controls magic, but here's the biggest part, the best part. She thinks Game of Thrones. No, she knows Game of Thrones is real.
Well, it is when it's on at this household on Sundays.
Oh yeah, it gets real over here. It gets real. No, she thinks it's a truthful, it's real.
Like it's a biopic.
Yes, like it's a fucking nonfiction thing.
Oh.
And the reason she knows this is because at a young age, in her control of magic, she was playing with fire and never got burned.
Okay.
So she has Targaryen blood in her veins, my friend. I
had a crazy old Hispanic man scream at me one time, but that doesn't make me believe Chico and the Kid was a real thing.
Yeah. And then here's the real funny thing. She ends up extending her stay. The next morning, I'm in the back working. I see her in the lobby. I say, no, I don't want nothing to do with this. I'm staying back here.
Yeah.
And then I hear her passing the same rhetoric on to one of the guys in the lobby, one of the workers that stays there all the time.
He said, hey, keep your crazy with me. Keep your crazy right here.
I thought God told you just felt compelled to talk to me. But now you just passing around like you're just like every other woman.
Good God, man.
Yeah,
where the hell do these people come from?
They're all from Portales, dude.
Oh, so she lives here?
Yeah, apparently she used to work on base.
Why is she staying? You know what? I don't know that I want to know.
Yeah. Even Carrie told me to be careful around her because I guess she was at the hospital previously as well.
Well, because of course she was.
Because, yeah, duh.
Oh, my God.
How was your week?
Compared to that, it was pretty regular. It was quite uneventful, I should say.
I think it's time for a little rye.
Yeah, it is probably.
Or a lot of rye.
A lot of rye, probably.
Yeah. Oh, and she also, one more quick addendum, she gave me her phone number. And I gave her some random email address because I told her I didn't believe in cell phones. I didn't like to be so easily connected to people.
Okay.
So if whoever I gave this email out to, if you ever hear this, I'm real sorry. But hey, maybe her shit's legit and she'll help you find God.
That's a bizarre story. Do you give her some weird email address like Big Dong 123 or something at Yahoo?
I think you're crazy at gmail.com.
Here's the email address I have for you. It's called fuckyourself at gmail.com.
I thought about giving her Ruben's email address.
No, that would have been bad because dude falls for
that's
crazy
right.
chicks. A little easy.
That would have been a big backfire.
A little easy, yeah.
And this is legit crazy. She just spent 2 weeks psych ward in Vegas.
Like,
not Vegas, Nevada.
No.
Vegas, New Mexico.
It's hard to get into that hospital because this is a poor state. If you can get in, you're legit fucking crazy between the ears. Man. Sounds like 10 pounds of crazy jammed in a 5-pound sack.
Like, yeah, that's a one overstuffed sausage.
My week's been okay. Weird technical difficulties here and there, but I can't bitch. Yeah. Had a power outage, and every time that happens, radio station don't make no money when we're not on the air.
Yeah, that was all across town. He went out at my place.
Yeah, and it was a pretty widespread thing. Apparently it wasn't long, like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
no,
it was like 5 seconds.
Oh, wow.
It was off.
It was just a quick search?
Yeah, I was in the lobby, fucking power went off. The whole city was dark.
Well,
I hadn't seen anything like it when I was living upstate New York when they had the blackout up there.
Yeah.
It's the only time I'd seen darkness like that. Scary as fuck, man. But like 5 seconds later, it came right back on.
Well, but what it did do though is really, really jack the email server. So, and then a lot of our stuff, if you have radio stations in 2 cities, it really messes with your VPN of your gateway of sending shit back and forth. And yeah, it was a fun day.
Oh yeah, any hard shutdown of everything's gonna fuck some shit up.
And people are like, well, it couldn't be that hard. Just get on. Just you have a microphone. Just talk. Yeah, that's what they want. They want me to talk for like 3.5 hours every morning. That's it. No music, no breaks, no nothing.
Just me, bitches.
Just exposed to the weird shit that rolls out of my head.
Oh, goddamn. Might be the next big thing. You never know.
Well, I think it already kind of is. It's called the Mead Metal and MMA Podcast.
Putting it to good use here.
And I hope you folks are having a great week and getting ready for a fine Christmas coming up. A happy Yule to you.
Yeah.
Today is the first full day of winter. Should have broke out some mead for this.
I know.
Think about that.
Yeah, we'll probably do it later.
Well, it'd be a waste because I celebrate vacations a little hard. I go a little hard on
That's
this
right.
day.
And we might have Ruben coming down later, so.
I think dude might already be here. I heard the watchdog
dude.
barking out front.
And had a kick-ass wine and cheese event last Saturday.
Worked out really good.
It really did.
I think we had like 16, 17
We
people.
peaked at 17.
17
Yep.
at one time in my little tiny-ass little hovel. And but it was good times.
Yeah.
To which then I get, hey, so you going to try to make it even bigger next year? No, this was it. This is the biggest it needs to be.
Yeah, we found our limit.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's one of those rare instances. I mean, the actual event in itself was fucking a blast. After party was even better.
I guess. See, my problem is I drank wine all night, and at the end of the thing, I thought, you know, I'm actually just buzzed. I'm nothing beyond that. I could feel a little bit like I'd had a little, like I'd had some drinks, you know,
Right.
just a few drinks, Randy. But the thing is, so after the whole thing, as soon as we kicked the last person out that, you know, well, we didn't kick anybody out, but once the last person was on their merry way, broke out a little bit of rye whiskey from Indiana, and
Changed the music a little bit.
changed up the music, and lo and behold, I was drunk.
Yeah,
One shot of liquor.
I can sum up the wine and cheese event in 4 bullet points. First one, we nearly had a brawl.
Chick fight.
Yeah. Number 2, we had girl kiss girl. It was on the cheek.
Oh, well.
Still, some of the hottest action I've seen at the wine and cheese event, sir. Oh no, never mind. You saw something else. Number 3.
Yes, I did.
Number 3. We had our first truly passed out patron ever.
Yeah.
And number 4, I got someone in a fucking body triangle to protect myself. My BJJ was on point at about 3:30 that morning.
That is not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
It was the best wine and cheese event I've ever attended, man. I thank you for it.
Yeah. Now, I do think I'd said before I headed off to the land of Nod, I said, as long as you people aren't up singing at the top of your lungs at 4 a.m., that's all I care about. So
No, we shut that down about 3:30.
3:30. So that's good. We're making some progress. Maybe about 10 years from now, this shit might be wrapping up by midnight. I don't know.
Well, I'll be middle-aged by then, so I'll have to wrap it up by then. My bowels won't let me.
Your bowels. How much cheese did you have?
It was pretty good. It was a lot of fucking cheese, actually.
I will say this, the show stealer. You know, because you have one that you expect to be good, and that's always the champagne cheddar.
Yeah.
The show stealer was the fucking the Gouda directly from I think it was a Denmark Gouda.
Right.
That one was
that was gnarly, man.
that one, and I only encountered it toward the end of the night. I kind of left that alone. I'd kind of gone with like a cheddar. I was like, why was I wasting my time with all this worthless food when I could have been going for the Gouda?
Yeah, I mean, the whole spread was great. The wine selection was actually really good.
And that wheel of brie, which ordinarily it gets tossed,
It was gone.
it was finished.
It was nothing but goo left.
And what I do, by the way, if you want to treat your family to something really, really cool, they're like 100, 150 of you that listen to this podcast. Here's what I do. Get a little wheel of brie. I don't know what they're God, probably the size of a saucer, whatever.
Yeah.
I think they're like $7, $8 at most grocery stores. Cut the rind off the top. Take it out of the wrapping. Cut the rind off the top. Get pecan halves, jam them into the top of that cheese, and then a generous amount of honey. Whoop, whoop, over the top, and a tiny little sprinkle of cayenne straight in the oven. Like 350 for like 20 minutes or something like that. It gets real gooey, and that's the reason you don't take the rind off the sides. Is because then you just have a pile of shit. But yeah, but it does, and it kind of makes its own little fondue pot.
Wow,
almost.
shit. So that's the secret to it. Okay,
Yeah.
I was wondering how it was like so like soft and just
Yeah,
like,
you leave the rind on the outside.
dead in the middle. That's
Yeah.
okay.
But
Right
you
on.
only cut it off the very top. Yeah, you leave it on the bottom and the side, so that way it creates its own little Mother Nature's little pot of goodness. So
I'd like to say the other show stealer was Ruben. I got to give
Ruben
that guy
actually
proper
was,
ends.
I will say this: is that Ruben was he was controlling the room,
Yeah.
which is he's kind of a little bit more of an introvert sometimes
Yeah.
around strangers.
Sure.
No, that dude was master ceremonies.
Yeah, I gotta admit.
Made
I mean,
it easy on yours truly.
no shit. Yeah, allowed you to just go mingle and chill because I mean, Ruben was just giving people wine. Like, here's what this is. This is what kind of. Oh, you want the sweet shit? Well, here's the sweet shit right here, son.
You know what? We're gonna have to post it for the photo for this week. And it's the photo is of Ruben holding a bottle of wine upside down, into a glass that Carrie is holding out. It's a ridiculous photo. It looks staged, but that was a natural occurrence.
Yeah. That was right after Ruben said, "We got to finish all this fucking wine, guys."
And we did.
And then we said goodbye to Ruben.
Yeah. He had to disappear for a bit.
Oh man, it was great.
But it was a big success. It's
Top
an
tier
event
event.
that I stress over every year. But by the time that all the shit gets done and everything gets laid out and everything prepped, and by the way, thanks to our friend Bobby for helping with the prep and everything else. And he brought over all the olives and stuff like that from Lubbock because they have a great selection in Market Street chain over there. No, the whole thing just worked out really, really well. I just gave up and allowed Pluto TV to kind of be the background music because they have like one of those logs burning.
Right. Kind of the old Yule log.
Yeah,
set in the mood.
Hey, guess what? That was one thing I didn't have to worry about was music. So
Right.
Seems a little bit white trash maybe in some instances.
And
but
still got to catch some of the UFC on Fox card.
yeah, well, and that's the other thing too. That was the compromise because I thought, well, I'm going to make Brandon and Carrie mad, but we can't be showing the fight.
Oh no.
At 6 p.m. when the whole event kicked off. Well, but the one thing that I should point out, though, was that it was a good fight card. I have no doubt of that. It was Robbie Lawler fighting. That guy always is going to put on an exciting fight no matter what, except for last Saturday. But
he
but
got
still,
outclassed.
but I was able to keep that going on the laptop and then put the music on over the TV.
Yeah, it worked out really
well. It worked out. Yeah, and the weather was great.
Yeah,
it was a little cool
absolutely.
outside, but by God, it's December. You know, it wasn't snowing, it wasn't frosted over out there, and and about half of the people here were smokers. So
it worked out well.
Yeah,
It did. I think everyone left happy, if whatever they remember.
what? Well, most people left with all their clothes, so that was always a good sign.
I know.
So.
Next year, I'm getting blackout drunk.
Next year, I am wearing I'm going to look like Ted Nugent and a double live Gonzo. That's
Shit.
Mead.
Indeed.
We're at the point now. We have these two batches are underway, and they're our marquee batches, is what they are. Longships and Troublemaker.
Still chugging right along.
Yeah, we're and once we figured out we're not really on a timeline, then that kind of allows us to kind of breathe a little easier. I would like to have a 2017 tag on the label, but it doesn't break my heart to have 2018 on there.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to happen because what we still have to do, I still have to go ahead and get Campton in both because you people like to hang on to bottles of mead for some stupid reason for a very long time. Drink it. It's what it's made for. It is not made. If you're wanting something to just be able to put on your wall, tell you what, drink your bottle, put it on your shelf. There you go.
That's what I do. I have
works.
a bottle from every batch we've done.
So, well, there you go. The museum is at your house then.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at you.
Yeah, look at me.
So, yeah. So what we have these two going. So we're going to put Campton in there, which is essentially well, for lack of a better term, it's kind of a sanitizer for the product. It's a preservative. It allows that product to be shelf stable for a much longer period of time.
Yeah, basically doesn't turn to fucking vinegar.
Yeah, which I'm sure is probably most appreciative by the people that do like to sit on bottles for years.
Well, that
on
bottle of our very first run that Don cracked open, like, what was it, over a year later?
Well, now that guy kind of keeps his stuff smart, though.
Yeah.
He keeps it in a very cool but very dark place. There's no sunlight where he keeps it.
Nice.
I mean, yeah, that's really, really important. The biggest thing that's going to degrade it is sunlight, and then right after that's temperature. Well, he has a very stable environment because it's within a utility room that's in the middle of his house that doesn't change temperature whether summer or winter. So.
I see. Wow, right on.
Yeah, so that's why he's able to get away with it. Although I still frown at him and say, would you please drink the mead? That's what it's there for.
Especially still his first run, Troublemaker. That dude needs it. Especially that one. The story that particular bottle has.
Yeah.
Who knows what that turned into?
Does he still have? I don't know.
I think you mentioned it a while back that he might still have a bottle of the.
Maybe.
I don't know if it was the original run or the first run where we were doing the labels ourselves.
I don't know, but nonetheless, though, is that so what the deal is? So yes, we like to use Campton in order to get that in there for you good folks that like a preservative in your mead. And then what I need to do is then we get some gelatin findings, which are hooves.
We'll need to get that hoof on, yeah.
We'll get that in there, and that'll help clarify, which the Longships is only going to need really one clarification. I do think that Troublemaker this time around is going to need about 3.
Yeah, I think it's going to need a little more extensive clean out.
But
because at the bottom of that carboy, you can already see a line of leaves building.
Yeah, which I'm okay with.
Yeah.
That's if that's our biggest trouble is we have to rack it a few times and then clarify it. I don't mind.
True to its name.
Yeah, exactly. I would be shocked if we ever had an easy batch of Troublemakers. So
the one we made after the first run was pretty much primo. Everything was perfect.
Is that the one we did the red border label on?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, the very first run of that.
I have one bottle of that.
Yeah. I'm kind of stoked about that for next Saturday.
Well,
or Sunday.
Today was our first snowfall.
That is true. That is true. Might be our last as well.
Yeah, maybe. As dry as this part of the country is. I don't know. We'll have to give some thought to that.
We'll put that on the docket.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So then, which I'm actually sure probably next weekend people would much rather hear us be able to kind of critique that. But we got a lot of busy work to do after the podcast is over, so maybe not. I don't know. Think it out loud. But anyway, those batches have come along. The long ships is obviously the one we started prior. That was the first one of the two. I'm okay with probably getting that one cranked out about the second or third week of January.
Yeah.
Troublemaker probably right there the last week of January, first week of February, if we're talking timelines.
Right.
Which our timelines are usually off, but you never know.
Well, it's always good to have like a wheelhouse nailed in, you know?
So at least that's what we're going to aim for. Kind of would like to know, get a little input from the rest of you. We've talked about, we do a batch of Green Man every year because that's what we consider a sub-premium batch. In other words, we're still able to charge premium, but yet it is it's a regular batch that we do every year. Which, by the way, we actually cracked one of those out at the Wine and Cheese Social and actually sold a couple. So, yeah, that was good times. Batches you would like us to see, to approach again, I'm okay with. There are some people saying, well, why don't you do the Holly King every year? Because it didn't move big the first year.
Yeah.
And the second year, after we've aged it a year, still not moving real fast.
Right.
The peppermint's a little bit weird for some people.
I think so. Yeah.
I think it's great.
So do I. I think after a year, that fucking bottle has shown what we wanted it to be.
Yeah. What I'm thinking about doing is pulling Green Man kind of off the shelf for this coming year and do a weird amalgam kind of. Didn't we do Sacred Tree? Wasn't that the apple batch?
Yeah.
And then we have Green Man, which is the green chili batch. Kind of a mashup of those two worlds of doing a green chili apple batch. Maybe. Although I do think the next batch we do that we start is going to be a batch one, and that's our straight vanilla batch. It's not anything to do with vanilla.
Vanilla by plain.
It is a plain batch of mead, just straight mead, just like the Vikings drank. It's like our
all killer, no filler.
Our forebears in Scotland and Ireland and everywhere else. So that's probably what we're going to do next. A more sufficient run of what's going on with our mead side of the business right now, I probably really couldn't put together. So.
Yeah. No, it's a pretty good run through, actually.
Yeah, which we kind of need to do because the metal segment's going to be a little bit lacking this week because nobody puts out new releases right around Christmas. They used to way back when rock and roll was king. But,
right.
But yeah, nobody cranks out a new release days before Christmas. So we have no new releases to really speak of this week. We won't next week, but again, next week's going to be kind of our top 3 list for 2017.
Oh, yeah, we'll be able to actually chat about some good shit.
Yeah. So, Metal, what's going on? I mean, obviously there's some news, just not new releases.
Yeah, and I even dug around a little bit, like I do on a Friday, to like try and find something cool, but I ended up just listening to shit I knew was good.
Yeah. Well, you know what? And that's really kind of what the year end is about. We obviously kicked off the show today with Spirit Adrift, and wasn't it? Or did
that was
that was
our place.
Yeah, that's right. That was Mastodon. We're going to close out with Spirit Adrift, but yeah, I mean, we're putting together and formulating our favorite records of the year. And if you can't tell, there's a couple of them
front runners
be featured prominently.
Yeah.
I was going to go top 5, but the problem is next week. But the problem becomes after 3, it starts getting. You can make some real arguments, and we're kind of passionate about music. So for the sake of keeping the peace, probably top 3 might be the easier lifter on that whole situation.
And I have a funny feeling they're going to be pretty similar.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, one might be different, but I think they're all going to be pretty similar.
Yeah.
Trivium covered Elvis's Blue Christmas on the acoustic.
And why not?
Yeah. I mean,
To quote Spinal Tap, and why not?
So is that Jonathan Davis is writing a solo record.
Okay.
Going to be touring on it as well. So looks like Korn's been shelved for the year.
Yeah. Which might
not be a
how
bad
active
thing.
have they been?
They've
though?
been very fucking active.
Yeah.
They shit out an album like every 18 months.
So consistently.
Yeah.
See, my problem is I'm not a big Korn guy.
Yeah.
But I do like the individual stuff that, like, if what's his name produces a record for somebody else, it's usually really good. I like a lot of the stuff they do individually.
Right. No, that's true. Well, like you picked Fieldy to be the bassist in your supergroup.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gotten to the point where they put out an album rather frequently, and it's not really like fresh shit. And they put out Path of Totality, which is like them collaborating with dubstep artists and shit.
Oh, okay.
It was a weird fucking time.
Yeah.
So I think it's good. Let them go do some solo shit. It might be really great. Who knows?
Does some of their stuff, not dubstep stuff, but I mean, but does it kind of strike you as the later stuff that Smashing Pumpkins was doing, where it's like, wow, they keep pulling out the same stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time for them to, like, I don't know, move on.
I mean, they had lost one of their original guitar players in like 2004, 2005, something like that.
Okay.
And got him back a couple years ago, and they kind of had a little bit more of that original sound from like 94, 96, which is when I was listening to him. I was listening to him in junior high. But then along the way, they just kind of lost it. And then they started putting out albums all the time, and there just was no freshness anymore.
But they almost become a parody of themselves, right?
Yeah.
It's like I dig this cover band.
You go to a Korn concert to hear shit from 94 to 2001.
Sure.
That's the only reason I'd go. And
It'd be like if you went to like a weird Reformation 9 Inch Nails, you would expect to hear.
All I want to hear is shit from Pretty Hate Machine and Downward Spiral, and I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Downward Spiral, absolutely. I mean, but isn't that kind of it? You want to hear what kind of made that band what it is.
Yeah, you want to hear the hits, and whether they like to play them or not. I mean, that's what got them to the dance. Are you familiar with Ministry?
Slightly, only because you're kind of a big fan.
I like Ministry, like the NWO days. It was all right, and then I see where Ministry is putting out a new album. And they're like, well, here's the single off this new album. It's called Antifa.
Wow.
Oh, really? All right. Click, I guess. And it's basically like Al Jorgensen fucking talking about how great Antifa is.
So they basically become the new Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah, but in a weird
in
way.
A worse way, though.
And the backlash was fucking immediate.
Yeah. Here's a little bit of advice. And here's a little bit of rural New Mexico humor for you. Let me pour another shot here. So I go to a Western wear store today because I had to wrap up a couple of other things.
Is this akin to like walking to a bar?
No, it's like walking into a Western wear store. So I go walking into this place, and the owner, Buzz, he's good people. I get along with him. And he's talking about, for those cowboys among you, of which I'm sure there are many.
Oodles.
But he mentions how a kid comes in with a kind of a fucked up hat that he'd bought at a different business in town, and said, "Yeah, can you fix this for me? This hat looks a little fucked up." Well, he did not his words, mine. He says, "Wow, yeah." He said, "You know what?" And he looks at it and he sees where it came from, and it came from a feed store. And he said, "Yeah." He said, "How old are you?" The kid says, "I'm 19." He said, "Yeah, I'll do it for you because you're 19. But let me give you a little word of advice. If you're going to buy Western wear, don't go to a feed store. And by God, if you need to buy some feed, don't go to a Western wear store." I would say that's apropos in this particular situation. Keep it where it needs to be and be done with it. Stay in your own lane, I think, is maybe the more accurate statement on that one. So.
Oh, man. Outside of that, and just basically now everyone hates Ministry now.
Yeah, well, and probably with good reason. And here's the whole thing.
Well, Al Jorgensen is he's a super duper drug addict, and he'll be the first to tell you that.
Yeah. But let's not forget, Rage Against the Machine found where they found where they could go. They found where the line was, put their toes on it, and said, "That's what we can do and get away with." You can't go stepping over that line. You have to be aware of where the line is. And it sounds like in this case, it sounds like Ministry didn't know where the line that it even existed.
Ministry that's kind of what they've been brought up on, like that
political
anarchy,
yeah,
kind
rage
of shit.
Kind of
not
music,
really
yeah.
like taking a particular side though. That's never the thing. Just kind of like pointing out all the bullshit and saying how it needs to be stopped.
Right? Yeah.
This is basically a love letter to Antifa.
Right.
Saying like this is the group I want to get behind. And, of course, they don't really, I guess, have a high opinion in the hearts of people in America.
People want to hear music,
yeah.
Man. If you're going to be a musician, play music. But if you want to buy feed, don't go to a Western store.
There you go.
Be a musician and play music. And, man, and take on some crazy issues. I like when a lot of artists really put their neck out there on the line for certain things.
Right.
I can really appreciate a lot of stances that Prince took. I can appreciate.
Yeah.
I fucking hate Bruce Springsteen, but hey, that's okay. The guy he really kind of invests himself in things. But if you're wanting to go out there, it'd be like some act if they came out on the opposite side. It was like, hey, the Klan is okay. They're not. The Klan's not okay. Antifa's not okay.
It's just like when Phil Anselmo started throwing the Nazi salute at like a Dimebag tribute concert.
That's terrible.
Yeah. But on to cheerful things.
Okay, I was like, do we have something positive?
Got some good birthdays today.
Okay.
Born 1941, Ron Bushy from Iron Butterfly.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. 1943, one Derek Smalls, born today.
That's interesting. Guy was born at the height of World War II. His parents decided in 1942, hey, let's make a kid. Well, actually, probably 43 because, yeah, it's December. But, yeah, that's kind of ballsy because he's British, yeah?
Yeah.
That's really ballsy. That's like when the Blitz was on.
I mean, I don't know if honestly, I don't know if it's like Derek Smalls, the character's birthday or the actor's birthday.
Yeah, but he yeah, but well, I mean,
no, the guy that plays him isn't British.
He's American, yeah, because he's on The Simpsons a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if he might have been actually British, but
yeah. So I don't know if it's actually the actor's birthday or if it's like
if it's
Derek
a weird
Smalls.
Spinal Tap.
Yeah, Spinal Tap thing.
Okay.
But this is a real one. 1958. Dave Murray, born today.
Dave Murray is one of. Man, I'd love to say he's one of my influences, but the guy he's actually just a little bit good and a little bit too fast for me. But certainly I appreciated Iron Maiden growing up. And Dave Murray, I still want to buy a Strat with a Dave Murray plate. You know, and it comes with all the guts and everything else for the pickups and everything else, all the gear that he uses. But you have to have a Strat in order to be able to do that, and that's not a guitar I've got on my wish list anytime soon. But
yeah. And another big one, someone I think influences both people at this table, Eddie motherfucking Vedder, born today.
Yep.
1964.
That's right. Now that's a another guy. He will get political.
But God damn it, he can do it with with beautiful art.
But he doesn't. It doesn't feel like he's really cramming it down your throat.
Exactly. And the music is great. Well, in early days.
Once upon a time it was.
Yeah.
Till Pearl Jam was like, that's it. We're sick of being appreciated.
How do you like Vitalogy and Yield? Oh, okay.
There's like 2 tracks on Vitalogy.
There's 1 track on Yield, and I can't even fucking remember the name of it.
Man. So we had a question of the week sent in. What is your favorite traditional Christmas song, and what's your least favorite?
I can answer least favorite right now.
Up on the Rooftop?
Nope.
Okay.
Fucking Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time by Paul McCartney.
Okay. Anything involving up on the rooftop, and especially if it's children singing.
So is it the song you hate or the children?
All of it.
Whole package,
every aspect,
the whole pie.
Every aspect. Favorite song? I'm going to go What Child Is This on a traditional format, but the reason being because it's also Greensleeves, which I kind of dig as an English folk song.
I like Run Run Rudolph.
Like the rockin' version of it, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, yours is quite contemporary then, and mine a bit more traditional.
Well, the reason I hate the Paul McCartney songs is because I worked at Sears
on
a seasonal basis once.
God, how did you not learn to hate that? What was it, Mariah Carey? Oh shit!
All I Want for Christmas
Yeah,
Is You.
yeah.
Well, I mean, I hate that too, but I like. But
season is all about,
it
I hate
carries
that,
it
I hate
carries more
that,
punch.
and I hate that, and I hate that.
That's right. I know what Christmas is about. God damn it. No, it was just because like it's Paul McCartney. It's like fuck. I didn't think I could actually like really loathe the Paul McCartney song.
Yeah.
No matter what it was. Boy, howdy! Simply having wonderful Christmas time every 10 minutes. That'll make you hate it.
Didn't you two have one? But it was supposed to be about it was like an anti-Christmas song kind of years ago. I don't know.
Probably.
Probably. Yeah, it probably might have been a Bono project.
Yeah, I was going to say,
but,
it might just have been Bono taking a deuce and
It's
writing
like-
that jam.
It sounds like the Edge would be involved in that. But so anyway, there's our metal topic of the week. We move on to MMA.
No cards this weekend.
Because there's a big one coming up
next
now.
week we will be discussing. UFC Fox card last week. Holy fuck, did Ricardo Lamas get put down?
Yeah, everybody was saying, he wins this fight, he's a title contender.
Only time of the night during the wine and cheese thing where you heard, oh!
Yeah.
And then Samuel's like, what happened? It's like, Ricardo Lamas just got fucking dusted in record time.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
man,
first
gnarly.
round, like what, 40,
First round, it was within the
34
first
seconds?
minute.
Yeah.
And it was brutal. I mean, I thought we've been getting brutal KOs every week.
But my problem is I thought the guy was exposed, not the last fight, because the last fight he got a win, and maybe even the one before that. But it seems like back in my vacant memory of like 2015, 2016, it seemed like he was like kind of on a losing skid for a little while, and people were putting him away.
I think he's one of those fighters that has like, the resurgence, kind of like the Arlovsky resurgence.
Yeah.
Let's see. He beat Dennis Bermudez back at 180, lost to Chad Mendez, beat Diego Sanchez, lost to Holloway, beat Charles Oliveira, and beat Jason Knight. Yeah, he was on a 2-fight win streak, both of them finishes.
Yeah, and Oliveira, too. I mean, which is, started to get to be a less of a feather in the cap, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ricardo Lamas not going to be looking at a title fight anytime soon.
Yeah, Josh Emmett put him down. Oh, shit, no, it was 4:33 into the first.
Oh, it made it almost to the. It seemed like it was a lot faster, but again,
Yeah.
I was trying to play host to an event, so.
Yeah. Oh, no, absolutely. But he was supposed to fight Frankie Edgar.
Yeah, it was a change.
Frankie Edgar
yeah.
went down with injury.
Whoa. No. Frankie Edgar was. Or is that a carryover?
Oh, no. Hold on.
Because Frankie Edgar was supposed to fight. Supposed to get the title fight and had to drop out, so Aldo fought.
No, Lamas
against,
was
Holloway.
supposed to fight Aldo
Okay.
at this card. But then when Frankie Edgar got injured, they bumped
They
him up
moved-
to fight
yeah.
for the belt.
Right, yeah.
Bad move, by the way. Bad move.
Are-
Should have left him where he was.
Are we going to be okay? Let me ask a couple of questions.
He would have beaten Ricardo Lamas
Yeah,
from the
yeah,
Ricardo
no,
Lamas I
absolutely,
saw fighting
absolutely.
Josh Emmett.
But where is Aldo at in the grand scheme of things?
He needs to be at 155. I'm telling you, man, this post-USADA era is exposing a lot of
So you
fighters.
think it'll give him a little more gas to be at 155 then?
Oh, no, I don't gas. That's a matter of drive. You can have
Well,
a
in
hell
which
of a
case then it doesn't matter if he's a 145 or 155.
Yeah, I think he's because he used to have a great gas tank before they put all those regulations in on rehydrating after cutting weight.
Right.
And now with USADA fucking being the watchful eye over everyone, you're noticing a lot of these fighters, and a lot of them are Brazilian,
Yeah.
are starting to really fade.
Right. When we're not trying to go Colby Covington here, but yeah.
No,
that's,
I mean
that's the reality.
Lyoto Machida, Jose Aldo, Renan Barao,
Anybody out of
Anderson Silva.
anybody out of Nova União is kind of
Yeah.
really and a lot of and a score of other Brazilian fighters,
Right.
not just that one camp. Although that one camp can suck.
I mean,
shit,
like
but yeah,
RDA.
that's, yeah.
RDA looked kick-ass at 155, started getting rocked, moved up to 170, is a goddamn juggernaut again, and he doesn't get popped. He might get strategically injured every once in a while,
Yeah.
but he doesn't get popped for cheating.
Right. Well,
Mark Hunt saying after his contract UFC's done, he's out of there.
good. I would like that because he needs to go to an organization where he doesn't have really a big podium to preach from all the time, talking about how everybody is on the juice except for him.
Well, he's one of the few guys that's like he's been fighting people cheating a lot lately.
Yeah.
But I do agree, it's a little much.
Yeah.
You know, you take the fight with Brock. You say, I know this fucker's cheating, but I'm still going to fight him and kick his ass.
Yeah.
You don't. and then you bitch about it.
And then didn't he try to put a lawsuit on the UFC or something?
He has, and it's ongoing.
Well,
and then UFC did kind of dick him over. It was like
maybe, but they're not going to lose that fight.
No, they went to Vegas to check the brain, and Mark Hunt was fine, so they announced him that fight with Marcin Tibot.
Man, I would have so much respect for that guy if he would shut the hell up.
I had to quit following him on Facebook because, like, I still like you and I want to keep liking you. I just don't want to hear your shit anymore. I want to see you fight.
Right.
But after that, he's not done fighting. He says he's going to try to fight in, like, Australia or Japan or something like that.
Probably.
He still wants to be world champion, which is, I think, is admirable. But
go to Ryzen. He could probably do it in Ryzen.
Go to Bellator, get in that heavyweight tournament.
No, that dude they got at Bellator is a beast.
If you want to complain more about how terrible AKA is, AKA coach for Khabib is saying, his weight's not an issue.
His weight's always an issue. You're essentially lying to everybody to say Khabib Nurmagomedov has no weight issue.
That's all he has. That's holding him back from being probably the best lightweight out there.
Yeah, because the fact of the matter, he's not a lightweight. The guy tries to cut.
He's a short-ass 170.
Stupid amount of weight. He's a welterweight that tries to make that cut, and the older he gets, the harder that cut gets to be. My money is on, I bet he doesn't make weight next week.
You don't think so?
No.
I don't know. I think you'd make more money betting that he does. I think the odds.
Maybe, but I wouldn't put
like
money on it.
10 to 1 that he would, 2 to 1 that he don't. It's basically even money.
No, I wouldn't put money on it, but I would say if somebody's like, you got to make a call on this, do you think he makes weight? I don't think he does.
Okay, well then, you can also break it like this: either he doesn't make weight, or he doesn't even get to show up to make weight because his fucking kidneys fail again.
Well, and that's where the new era of the weigh-in is that you actually do a weigh-in first, and then you come out for a ceremonial.
Yeah, but even at the last one, that's how they were doing it, and he fucking was at the hospital.
Because the guy is not any younger.
Yeah.
We've talked about him a multitude of times on this show. The older you get, the harder those weight cuts are going to be, especially if you're a weirdo that's trying to cut a weight class. Because let's face it, dude probably walks around 185.
Yeah.
And he's trying to cut to 155.
It's just fucking. I really hope Barbosa fucking puts him down. And we can get past this Khabib chapter in MMA.
Yeah. No. Khabib needs to be fighting in Ryzen. That's where he needs to be. Or he
needs to be fighting at 170 in a division full of people under 6 feet tall.
He needs to be fighting at 170 and get exposed at 170.
Well, he's already small, and wrestling's kind of his shit. I don't think a lot of the
fight
welterweight.
RDA.
Yeah, RDA probably walks around at $190.
Yeah.
And last big thing, this is actually, I think, going to be a really good fight. Yoel Romero possibly fighting Luke Rockhold.
That's the fight I want to see.
Yep.
But if you're a fan of Luke Rockhold, you probably hope he comes up lame because Yoel Romero is going to feed him a shit sandwich.
Yeah. Oh man, that
Romero's got crazy skills and a variety of them. Luke Rockhold's basically got a single skill set.
Oh shit! No, never mind. That fight's not going to happen. It was offered, but then when Luke beat David Branch, apparently now he's fighting Whitaker for the belt at 221.
Well, he's going to wish that he hadn't hoped for that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hell, who would you rather fight, Yoel Romero or Robert Whitaker? How do you win?
Man, that might go down really as like top fight. One of the top fights of the year.
Yeah, 2018 is looking really strong so far with the Cormier,
Nagano.
Cormier and Ozdemir.
Nagano. Nagano's fighting Stipe. Yeah. And Ozdemir, who frankly we were afraid he's going to get pulled because he had a little bit of an arrest.
Those charges got dropped though.
Yeah.
Man. Oh, thank God.
Well, and he'd said they were, so I don't know, maybe a case in point where an athlete's actually telling the truth. Who knows?
Right.
But Cormier and Ozdemir, and is that on the same card as Stipe?
I don't think so. I don't think they're.
Nagano?
I think they're going to be single title, just one.
Promotion needs to stop with this 3 title fight nonsense just to sell a card. Because you're robbing a lot of good weeks that you might be able to put together something.
Indeed.
All right. Let's wrap this shit up. I got some booze drinking to do for my vacay.
Picks!
This week I'm going to go with Troublemaker of a vintage of 2016.
Oh, man. I'll go for that genie in that bottle, man.
Woo!
I concur.
I think we might have to do that. It's the first snow today. It feels like the right thing to do.
It does feel proper. Yeah.
I mean, we'd love to give a review, but it's going to be good.
So yeah, don't you worry. We'll let you know next week. Metal.
I'm going to go. Man, I'm going to go. Ooh, it's not going to be in my top 3 or 5, but it still is. It was an important release this year. Black Sabbath, The End.
Not bad. Not bad. Actually, I was listening to Black Sabbath on the way over here before the podcast.
And I was playing it when you walked in.
I know. That was like apropos. I think I'm going to go with some fucking Iron Maiden. Happy birthday, Dave Murray.
Yeah, that's not a bad pick. Not a bad pick.
MMA.
I'm going to go, talking about close contests, I'm going to go a few years ago, fight between Alexander Gustafsson and John Jones.
The one where Gustafsson looked like he actually won that fight.
That's right.
I'm going to go with Vanderlei Axe Murder Silva fighting Rampage Jackson when Rampage fucking knocked him out.
You got to go older than me.
Yeah, I did. And then after he put him on his ass, fucking landed 3 more on the ground, Dan Henderson style. Oof. Even while the refs tried to pull on, because it was a pretty personal fucking fight for the two of them.
Oh, yeah, because nobody likes Vanderlei. So.
No, well, he's a hard guy to like.
Yeah.
Good, easy guy to fear, hard guy to like.
Yeah, that's right. Them are picks
that's
for this week. Hey, we're going to wrap up the year 2017 coming up next week with a variety of nonsense that you've come to expect from the two of us. We will have our top 3 picks pretty much in all things involving Mead, Metal, and MMA. And our guest, I would call him a special guest, but he's almost a semi-regular at this point. Samuel will be joining us, and we're going to go ahead and shut down this.
And it's going to kind of be my birthday podcast.
It will be your birthday, yeah, because that'll be your birth week then.
Yeah. Well, birth week technically starts Monday, but I'm starting now.
I'm going to extend birth week a little bit.
I never thought I'd make it past 35, so I'm going to add 3 days to it.
So anyway, that's it for us this week. Thanks for joining us as we mail it in and make all kinds of weird observations.
Yeah, we actually talked more about our own personal lives and what was going on than anything else.
Yeah, most people aren't too pissed about that. Leave comments. We're good with that, even if they're shitty, in which case we'll call you out.
We'll take them. Make my nips hard.
It gets me weird to get caught on the street by people around here. Hey, man, so could you talk about what your favorite Christmas song is?
Local celebrities.
Like, God damn it, I already do this for a living. So anyway, enjoy the tunes. Enjoy the picture. I think, is that where we're going to go with? We're going to go with the Ruben and Carrie. Yeah,
I think so.
I think that might be.
I might have to get permission from her, though.
Oh.
She's not a big fan of her picture being taken or splashed on the internet.
Well, she's going to have to because, frankly, I built it up too much now.
Okay, I'll blame you.
Right.
She fucking scares me.
Oh, well. We can go ahead and digitize your face.
See if I can figure that out.
All right, you assholes. We're going to see you again next week as we close out 2017. Thanks for all of your support, all the love, and drink more mead.
And Merry Christmas. And fucking hell. I'll be back here brown out drunk next week.
We'll look forward to it.
It's the holidays after all, folks.
Take it easy, you heathens.